propaganda technique, making a virtue out of a fault. What this is taking a very negative attribute of something and then selling it as something positive. A camera company makes a camera that has no way to focus it and then sells it with the caption, "No focusing necessary." A small business has horrendous parking, yet advertises free parking, making a virtue out of a fault. How does this apply to cult religions? Many people in the United States are aware of a religion called the Unification Church, also known as Moonies. It's been recognized in many areas as a psychologically destructive cult. Notice the quote taken from the author Steve Hassan, who was a Moonie back in the 70s. Notice what he says in his book, Combating Cult Mind Control, on page 56. It is too bad that the word brainwashing is used so loosely by the news media. It evokes a picture of conversion by torture. Those inside a cult know they haven't been tortured, so they think critics are making up lies. When I was in the Moonies, I knew I hadn't been brainwashed. I do remember, however, Moon giving us a speech in which he said a popular magazine had accused him of brainwashing us. He declared, "Americans' minds are very dirty, full of selfish materialism and drugs, and they need a heavenly brainwashing." We all laughed. That speech was given by the Reverend Sun Myung Moon in the summer of 1975. Notice a similar quote taken from the March 15 Watchtower magazine, pages 186 and 187, paragraph 27, under the heading, "Be a Vessel for Honorable Use." A musician who had lived the unreal life on drugs began studying the Bible with Jehovah's Witnesses. His associates ridiculed him, taunting, "You're being brainwashed." He aptly replied, "The shape our brains are in, they need a good washing." So did you notice the similarity here? The Reverend Sun Myung Moon in 1975, "Americans' minds are very dirty, full of selfish materialism and drugs, and they need a heavenly brainwashing." The Watchtower Society magazine, March of 1973, prior to the Reverend Moon's speech, "The shape our brains are in, they need a good washing." Did the Reverend Sun Myung Moon and the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses take the same courses on making a virtue out of a fault? Notice one last thing. It's going to be taken from the Emphatic Diaglott, and it can be found in your Bible at 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. "And it is not surprising, for the adversary, also known as Satan the devil, himself transforms himself into an angel of light." Satan the devil sells himself as something virtuous. The Watchtower Society and the Moonies sell the idea of being brainwashed as a good thing. This has been a demonstration of the propaganda technique, making a virtue out of a fault.